Alright guys, hey, CC97 here, back again with another video about football. I hope you guys are enjoying my video. There are very few of you who actually watch it. But today I want to talk to you about the Premier League now that it's back after this Saturday. I've watched the Leicester City game. I didn't watch the Tottenham Hotspur vs Everton game. I wasn't at home. I did watch the Manchester City game, and this morning I watched the Manchester United game, and I watched the Liverpool versus Arsenal. So first of all, let's start with the Leicester City versus Hull City, which was it was kind of a lame match. It started off very slow. Hull City took the lead. Some guy got a freaking bicycle kick, which he executed it very well. And to be honest, watching Leicester City play, I expected them to take the win yesterday. But here's the thing: I've watched the game, and I quickly realized why they weren't being as clinical on their counterattack, and why Mahrez was the worst player on the field. And I know what you guys are gonna tell me. You're gonna be like, no, Mahrez scored a penalty. Yes, he scored a penalty. But just take a look at this. Mahrez was sending some of the dumbest passes for a Premier Player of the Season trophy winner. He sent some of the dumbest passes that I've ever seen him do. What else? He lost possession so many times because of it, and Hull City were able to take advantage of that. But what I did notice is that Leicester City need a player that can play the ball forward a lot faster. Now that they don't have Conte, they have to rely on other players. Like Gray started off fantastic in the first 10 minutes. After that, I don't know where the hell he went. He came back a couple of times, but Gray started off pretty good. Mahrez was fucking shit. Vardy was nowhere to be found. I mean, yeah, he did make a few good runs at the goalkeeper, but wasn't able to finish. But here's what I'm going at. We need a player that could play defense very well whenever Leicester doesn't have possession, and they need a player that can play the ball forward a lot quicker, so they could pass it up to Vardy or to Mahrez. And hopefully they do sign a player, or else they're gonna finish, to be honest, probably like 8th or 9th in my eyes. They're gonna drop like 8th or 9th in the table, in my honest opinion. The next game that I watched is the Manchester City game, which was very entertaining. It was different watching their style of play. Of course, the way that Pep Guardiola, the way that he plays is it's kind of different, and right now I watched the game, and I quickly noticed that Joe Hart wasn't on the field, and it was their second goalkeeper on the field. And then now there's rumors that Claudio Bravo is in personal terms with Manchester City. So that's going to be pretty crazy to see that Manchester City's Pep Guardiola doesn't like Joe Hart, which is kind of crazy. He either wants, more competitive, more competition within the goalkeepers, or shit like that, And then something that I did notice is that John Stones was average in the game. He was average in the game, like the way that he is in when he was at Everton. But nonetheless, they got the win, and that's all that matters to them. I hope that Pep Guardiola, does change some things around, because some of their players were making some really dumb decisions whenever they did have the ball. In my eyes, they probably could have got a little bit more goals than just 2-1. But hopefully Pep Guardiola is able to see how the Premier League is now, and adjust some things so they could get a little bit more goals, and they're able to dominate a lot more, because 2-1 is still a win, but it's not total domination. Even though they did get like the possession, they did win the possession statistics, but did they really dominate the way that they want to, or the way that Pep Guardiola wants him to dominate? I don't think so. Now, let's look at the Manchester game. Wow, that game was kind of weird. Manchester did end up winning. They ended up winning 3-1. Rooney scored. Juan Mata. He took the freaking ball from one of the defenders and was able to take advantage of that completely and put the ball away. In my opinion, I think midfielders should be able to do that more so they can take off some of the pressure from the strikers. It's not something that every team does, but I'm happy that Manchester United have the players that are able to do that. What else? Wayne Rooney was finally freaking scored. I don't know how many games he's gone without freaking coming even close to scoring, but he finally scored a goal today, that's pretty good. Jose Mourinho is actually starting to show Wayne Rooney what he's capable of doing again. Something that Van Gaal wasn't able to do the entire time he was with Manchester United. And then Zlatan scored a goal from a long way out. I honestly didn't think it was going to go in. When I saw the ball go in, I was like, wow, this is crazy. But nevertheless, I think that they are going to go out to win the entire league. Manchester United are just too freaking good. They got Mkhitaryan, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Pogba, Rooney, the captain, the English captain, and of course, they have very, very good midfielders. Juan Mata, of course, who scored today, along with Jesse Lingard, which is another up-and-coming good, very, very good player. Of course, probably the only thing that I would want them to change is bring in a center back. I think that Manchester United have a bit of a hole in the center back position, just a bit of a hole, and I wish that they would get rid of Fellaini. I'm not a big Fellaini fan, to be honest. Even though some people think that he's a solid player, I honestly don't think that at all. I think he's a good player, but not to Manchester United standards. And I think they need to bring out a player, or they need to play a player a lot more. Probably sell Fellaini and get a better midfielder, or sell Fellaini, save the money up a bit. Wait till December until they find a good player, and then they could play like another midfielder that they have. Schweinsteiger, he's still a very good midfielder. Of course, Van Gaal didn't play him that much because Van Gaal doesn't know how to manage a team. But Jose Mourinho, I think, could play Schweinsteiger or some of the other midfielders that they have rather than Fellaini, because I honestly don't like Fellaini at all. What else? The goal-scoring game that everyone is talking about right now, Arsenal versus Liverpool. I honestly thought that Arsenal was going to win. Well, here's the thing. I'm a fan of both clubs. I mean, they're like those clubs that you freaking watch and you're just like, man, I hope they win. Regardless of who they're playing, if they're playing a big club or a small club, you just feel kind of bad for them, just like, man, I hope they win. So in this game, I was like kind of leaning towards Arsenal. Sometimes I was kind of leaning towards Liverpool on some other times. I'm not like a huge die-hard fan, but I noticed some things here that are pretty freaking crazy. Walcott fucking scored, but what's crazy than that is that they freaking had a Walcott shoot a penalty. I thought that was a stupid decision in my eyes. If they would have had like another player probably like Alexis Sanchez scored, do the penalty, I'm pretty sure they would have scored. But nevertheless, Walcott freaking scored. And then Coutinho with the class finish. Free kick. Amazing. Great technique. Great curve on the ball. And a great finish. It was probably one of the... And he was from a long way out. It was like probably a little bit more than 30 yards. Probably about 35 to 40 yards. Somewhere around there. In my opinion. And then Lallana comes back. Who else scored? I think Mane scored, and then Coutinho comes and scores again. Oxlade-Chamberlain scores, it was just a really good game. It was very entertaining. It was high pressure from Arsenal, probably like around the last 20 minutes, where everyone was like, okay, well, I hope that Liverpool could hold the score a little bit longer, because Arsenal looks like they want to come back and they're hungry to score another goal. It was 4-3. It was 4-2 at one point, and then it came to 4-3, and then the last 20 minutes is where Arsenal, try to kick up a gears, but unfortunately they were not able to finish off the game from a win. But it's kind of crazy because Coutinho, was one of those players who never actually took charge in a game. Like, yeah, he would score like a couple of games. He was scoring a couple of games, but he wasn't like that player that actually dominated in the field. And you could quickly notice whenever he came off the field for Liverpool, you quickly notice that the quality went down a little bit, dramatically. The quality just went down in their midfield, because Coutinho is able to dribble the ball a little bit better than some of those other players, some of those younger players. And of course, Mane was able to score, which was pretty good. This shows that Liverpool have some really young players, and it's very frustrating for Arsenal fans. I know it's very frustrating for you Arsenal fans. Of course, you guys signed Xhaka, which was a great sign. It's a very good sign, but you guys need a new center back. Koscielny, it's a good center back, but Mertesacker, he's getting a little bit older. I don't know what's wrong with him. Sometimes he just doesn't make some of the best decisions. When it comes to center backs, in my opinion, I think they should have like that brotherhood type of connection there. They have to have a spark, the two center backs. Like when you look at some great partner center backs like Maldini and Nesta, you could quickly tell that they had that connection, they had that spark. I don't know, I'm not entirely sure if Mertesacker and Koscielny have that. They're very good center backs, but I don't know if they click in together like the way that some people would want them to. And of course, it's the center backs, and I you guys have some decent midfielders. However, you guys have some very talented fullbacks, along with some good wingers. Anyways, got some good wingers. But what you guys really need is a striker. It's a freaking striker. You guys need a fucking striker. I'm not even kidding. This is like crazy the amount of things that I saw in this game where a decent striker could have taken advantage for Arsenal and score some goals. Lacazette is someone Arsenal should really look into buying. A decent striker, I'm not even kidding at this point. Like, you guys need it. If you guys want to ever come close to winning a league between this year and the next 3 to 4 years, you guys need a freaking striker. That's the point fucking being. But nevertheless, that's all I have for today. Tomorrow I will be covering some of the more games that are in the Premier League. I am CC97. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. For the very few of you who actually watch my videos, please leave a thumbs up. And I hope you guys will stick around to watch yet another one of my videos. I'm CC97, and I am out.